Okay, now for step 2, we're going to start working on our first body paragraph. In step 1, we get our thesis down, and we'll go back later and fill in the rest of our introduction paragraph. We're going to go right in step 2 to our first body paragraph, where we're going to answer simply the question, how does the setting help to develop the theme of cruelty? Okay, so we're going to focus specifically on the setting for our first body paragraph. All right, in order to do this, we're going to fill out these questions here. Okay, well, my 2 went away. 1, 2, and 3 on this page, and then down here, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, so let's start here with 1. Where is your scene set? So you want to be as specific as possible. The first thing you should do before working on any of these questions is to go back to the book and open up to your scene and reread it. All right, find your scene in the book and reread it to make sure you are as familiar as possible with it. And this way, you can go back and easily pull evidence from the story. All right. So let's say if you're using the dinner scene with Walter Cunningham, you're going to want to go to the chapter. You're going to want to find where that scene in the chapter is, and you're going to want to read what Harper Lee writes about the scene. What words does she use to describe the scene? Think about what characters are involved, what people are wearing, what time of day it is. Okay, you're going to want to really look at how Harper Lee sets the scene before you answer these questions. It'll make it much easier. All right. Once you've read, then start with number 1. Where is your scene set? So again, I won't be using To Kill a Mockingbird for my examples. I'll be using Marigold's. All right. So in Marigold's, the scene is set outside Miss Lottie's old, dilapidated house in her beautiful marigold garden. This is the only spot of beauty in the entire town. Okay. Number 2, which my 2 is hiding for whatever reason. Where is your scene set? Or excuse me, when is your scene set? And again, you want to be as specific as possible. So my scene is set late at night towards the end of summer during the Great Depression. Now I wrote a moderate, okay, a middle amount of what I could write. You want to write as much as you need to write, right? Don't leave anything out. Better to write too much than too little, right? My answers are okay. They tell me the base of the information needed, but feel free to write as much as you can, all right? Then number 3, how do the characters involved in your scene feel about the setting, both where and when? Now you'll notice you have 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes. All right, so you're looking at up to 4 characters. Now your scene might have more than 4 characters. If this is the case, make sure that you are narrowing down which 4 characters are absolutely necessary to talk about. And if you're having trouble with this, feel free to ask your teacher for help. All right. Some people might have the opposite problem, where you have only a few characters and you don't have 4. That is okay. Make sure you list all of the characters involved. There should be at least 2 in almost every scene. All right. You may have 1. All right, but that might be pretty rare. All right, so let's take a look at my characters for Marigold's. I have Elizabeth, Joey, Miss Lottie, and then I don't have a 4th character, so I simply will write NA. All right, don't leave these blank. If you don't have a character, write NA. All right, stands for non-applicable. So I want to think about Elizabeth, and I want to think about her feelings or relationship with the setting. So her feelings towards the setting or her relationship with the setting. So for my story, Elizabeth hates it. She hates the marigold garden because it's beautiful when nothing in her life is. Joey, he sees it as a fun place to play and bother Miss Lottie. Miss Lottie treasures it above all other things. And NA simply gets another NA. All right? So again, I write enough information, but feel free to write more. It's better to have more than less. All right? The more you have, the more you will have to write into your paragraphs. All right? The more information you'll have at your fingertips ready to go. All right, and then we'll go down here for 4 through 8. All right, so this scene takes place, we go back, I already wrote it up here. This scene takes place late at night, so I'm going to want to say at night. Other scenes have had this exact setting. Not true. While we've been to the Marigold Garden, it wasn't late at night. So it's important to think about all aspects. All right. We have been to the Marigold Garden, but not late at night. So really think about your scene, because we have a lot of similar scenes in To Kill a Mockingbird that come up, but at different times of day, at different years as well. The characters in this scene belong in the setting. They are not intruding. False, right? Because Elizabeth is going in, she's trespassing in order to destroy the garden. And the setting makes the reader feel, let's say, negatively about what's going to happen, all right? A child destroying a garden usually doesn't end well. And explain your answer to number 7. So here's my answer to number 7, all right? It is dark in the middle of the night, and the house is creepily described, which makes the reader feel negatively. All right. So here's my model using marigolds. You're going to want to fill it in the same way, but using your scene from To Kill a Mockingbird. And there you have it. Your first body paragraph is set up and ready to go.